Welcome to the channel guys. The god Tsukimichi transports Misumi Makoto to another world to become a hero. The other world's goddess deems Makoto too ugly and banishes him to the wasteland, infested with non-humans and monsters, giving him only the ability to understand all languages. Tsukimichi intervenes, explaining in Japan Makoto's abilities were restricted by modern life, but in the new world he is quite powerful and free to do whatever he pleases. After 3 days of traversing the wasteland, Makoto saves a young orc named Emma from a two-headed wolf monster which he kills, revealing his newfound strength. Makoto learns to study magic after she takes him to her village. Makoto makes the decision to destroy Shin, a massive dragon who creates illusions using fog. Shin locks Makoto in an illusion of a joyful memory, but after looking through his other memories he is drawn to his recollections of Japan. Makoto breaks the illusion, and is taken aback when she offers to become a familiar on the condition that he signs a contract with him. Shin transforms into a busty samurai girl, looking forward to what Makoto will do in the future. She teleports Makoto to the alternate universe where she regularly resides, although it now looks like the countryside in Japan. Makoto tells the orcs that he beat Shin, who invites them to reside in her dimension, which is now suitable for farming. Shin continues to watch Makoto's memories on the television, but she demands that they figure out how to make a television on which she can keep his memories. Tsukimichi told Makoto that his parents were born on this planet before going to Japan, so he chooses to learn more about them. She enters with an injured dwarf, revealing that their dimension is under siege by a spider known as Black Disaster. Disaster, who is cursed with unending hunger and devours everything. Makoto manages to obliterate the spider completely, but the creature regenerates and Makoto collapses. She tries to interfere, but the spider declares that the extreme brutality has satisfied its masochistic desire, and she wants to remain with Makoto indefinitely. Despite Makoto's unconsciousness, Shin advises that the spider create a contract with Makoto to attain a human shape, and she agrees to Shin executing the ceremony. When Makoto wakes up, he discovers he has a new similarly buffed female servant who gives him the creeps. Makoto renames Shin to Mo and names the spider Mayo in response to Shin's plea for a personal name. Makoto realizes that Tomo and Maya went recruiting while he was comatose, and his hamlet is now filled by orcs, dwarfs, mist lizards and humanoid spiders. When Makoto returns to the real world, he encounters a human settlement which attacks him. Makoto's magical aura is so intense, Tomo continues that humanity mistook him for a dark lord. Makoto studies the human language for months, and she has the dwarfs create things to block his aura. They enter the human settlement under the guise of merchants and enroll within Adventurers Guild. Tomo and Mayo set records by being 4 times as powerful as the next strongest adventurer, whereas Makoto rates level 1 weaker than a toddler due to the suppressed aura. Tomo hears that a dragon she knew Lancer was killed by Sophia Bulger, an adventurer. Makoto notes that commodity prices are unusually high and that people have started to follow them. Tomo prepares to defend their wagon against the night attack. A young girl approaches Makoto and Maya while they are out shopping. Renan says that her sister Toa has vanished, and Makoto deduces from the thief's recollections that their organization is holding her captive, so Maya and Tamo are dispatched to rescue her. Makoto is concerned that Toa looks like a girl he knew in Japan named Hasegawa. Toa and her captor Mills Ace, the current strongest adventurer, are located by Maya and Tomo. Mills, the thieves' secret commander, explains that a demon lord has recently approached the city and has a bounty on its head. Unaware that the demon lord is Makoto, Renan slips away and informs the robbers that Makoto's wagon was located with valuable fruit, but that they had already sold it. The crooks demand that she steal Makoto's gold in order to settle Toa's obligations. Renan thinks that after Makoto's kindness she can't steal from him. Mayo and Tomo compete to see who can overcome the most opponents by defeating Mills, his thieves, and destroying a portion of the city. Tomo tampers with everyone's memory, making the world believe Setsuya was destroyed by the monster horde. Renan meets Toa, who is nearly identical to Hasegawa except for her hair color. Makoto congratulates Mayo and Tomo on their successful rescue of Toa, but sends them back to the wasteland to repent for killing the entire human settlement. Makoto must re-register inside the next nearest town after Zetsuya's guild was destroyed. While Makoto journeys to Zeich with other adventurers, he fools Tomo into training alone in the forest. Toa gathers important components from various creatures including rare ruby eye ants, which Mayo and Makoto destroy. Adventurers Luigi the elven archer, Hazel the human alchemist, and Renina the dwarf priest knight celebrate their re-registration in Sieg. Makoto decides to sell the ruby eyes to the Rembrandt Trading Company, but Toa warns him that the Rembrandt Trading Company has a nasty reputation. Emma reports on their progress. When he returns to his village, the humanoid spiders are settling in the mountains, the dwarfs are erecting structures, the mist lizards are clearing farms, and the orcs are building Makoto a castle. Makoto is concerned since Tomo has been missing for a long time. The dwarfs give Makoto a merchant's attire to help him hide his aura even more, but his magic is too strong and the outfit is destroyed. Makoto realizes that magical materials grown on the demi-plane are more powerful than those developed on Earth. Makoto visits Rembrandt with the ruby eyes and finds the management tough to deal with. Patrick Rembrandt, the manager, is dismissive until he sees the ruby eyes and apologizes. He excitedly tells that the eyes make ambrosia a cure for his witch-cursed wife and daughters. Makoto goes to register as a merchant and breezes through the written exam, which is simple middle school math. The second test requires him to collect 4 deadly objects, but he uses a rule that allows him to substitute items of equivalent value and replaces the ruby ants. Makoto returns to the demiplane, where he wants to set up a hidden portal to deceive traveling merchants into thinking the demiplane is a hidden city where they can trade for demiplane items, and then return home, creating a market for demiplane goods. Mayo has become addicted with his memories of anime and children's cartoons. Makoto realizes when he locates Tomo with Mayo. When Makoto opts to sleep alone rather than choose one of them, Tomo and Mayo become perplexed and decide to devise a seduction strategy. Makoto asks Hazel to assist him in brewing the ambrosia, and Hazel accepts. When one adventurer notices Makoto, he decides to assemble as many adventurers as possible to stop Patrick from doing whatever it is he's doing with Makoto. Patrick has the witch doctor who cursed his family assassinated in secret. The ambrosia is brewed by Hazel. Makoto is able to control Patrick's wife Lisa, who has turned into a monster, and Patrick is able to give the ambrosia effectively. They also use this produce to treat Patrick's daughters. Makoto returns to Tomo and Mayo, but the adventurer Lime Lat and his countless aliens assault them. Lime claims he only wanted a sleeping curse placed on Lisa and her daughters as retaliation for Patrick preventing adventurers who displeased him from finding work, many of whom later died on quests too dangerous for them to handle, and he has no idea why the witch doctor actually cursed them into monsters. After defeating all 200 enemies, Lime apologizes to Patrick, who agrees to let him live, and Lime ends his adventures. Tamo offers Lime a katana fashioned by the dwarfs and recruits him to spy for her. After seeing in Lime's memories that he returns his wages to the orphanage where he grew up. Meanwhile, despite his thanks to Makoto, Patrick mulls over how to respond to Makoto's decision to launch a competing trade farm. The warriors in Makoto's tribe are despondent after trading, and Makoto discovers that it is his fault since he fully overwhelms them during training, causing them to lose their self-confidence. He also recognizes that different species do not train together, therefore he organizes weekly competitions to encourage them to improve themselves and each other. Makoto, Mayo and Tomo re-register as explorers and are tasked with training a replacement for Lime Lat. Toa is Makoto's choice, though Tamo is concerned since Toa looks like the girl from Japan and she fears Makoto regrets his former life. Tomo puts Toa and her team through a rigorous training regimen before putting their new skills to the test by commanding them to battle a nest of 108 monsters, demonstrating that they are the most capable adventuring team. Makoto makes the decision to acquire ambrosia blossoms, which are the flowers that the ruby ants eat and which make their eyes valuable. He also decides to rent a shop space from Patrick, who realizes Makoto wants to rent rather than buy because buying would bring the Seagate Kingdom's attention to him, which Makoto does not want to do. Patrick agrees to find Makoto a business in a neutral city that is not affiliated with any kingdom. Makoto's trading enterprise opens and the village throws a party to celebrate.